Mufti, advice for a new Muslim after reading and having a basic knowledge of the Quran and watching your channel. Where would a person go next? Any books or the scholars you could recommend? Sure, excellent question, Nora. Shukran. Right, scholars. Wow, there's so many. Obviously, learning from people like Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, I would say sure. I mean that he's always giving a wonderful message of kind of knowledge and growth and compassion. I would say when it comes to learning, if it's possible to learn Arabic, that would go miles. Seriously, it'd go light years in your development. A person, it is a journey. They have to kind of pick and they have to kind of learn certain things. I would say if you could start learning Arabic, it would really help you massively. It's just so beneficial because everything is nested in the Arabic language. Then there's things like learning about the Quran. The Quran, Ustad Noman Ali Khan has many kind of snippets on the Quran and tafsir, and I haven't heard many of the recent ones, but ones from before he had in great depth and detail. So if you want to listen to the Quran, that's definitely something he could from. And one thing that Nak would often do, which was really good, is that he would keep it non-sectarian. So there you go. That's something. Which are the Sheikh Khalid Abul Fadl is definitely a great voice of reason. I would say, look, learn wherever. Don't be restricted to who I just named or people. To be honest, I don't know when people say name someone, it gets difficult because I'm not up to date and I don't watch these people's, like maybe like a lecture, a clip might come up. Like let's say, for example, something came up of let's say I don't know. I mentioned Nak, so let's say Ustad Noman Ali Khan's clip came up and I watched it now. It might just be one off, like something comes up on YouTube and I watch one, but I'm not up to date with stuff. So maybe I've now mentioned a scholar. Now I'm not watching their material, and so it becomes difficult for me to say, because then people might say, "Oh, well, I watched this thing, and this person said this," and then they hold me to account. It's like, well, I'm not responsible. So, and then I don't know. Then they might say, "Well, you recommended him," so this is why I have to kind of caveat things by saying, look, just go to anyone wherever your heart settles. There is a beautiful hadith where the Prophet ﷺ, he says about goodness is what matma'annat ilayhi nafsuk. Okay, that what your albir, that this is what your heart and soul will find tranquility in. So if you come across something, you find it, you think, wow, this is, I like this, and it gives me peace, then that's wonderful. These are, I think, I don't know. I struggle to, because of these reasons. If I'm being honest, it's just these reasons. I don't know who to say because I don't know what people are doing currently. And for all I know, they might be in the middle of some kind of a campaign about something, and I mentioned them, and people say, "Oh, Mufti." So I have to just be reticent, Yeah. So, but just look, there is so much available. If you do constructive learning, like you learn about, let's say, the Arabic language, now that you could dedicate 12 months to, and that's done. Okay. So, and then you've got access to the Quran yourself, at least at a reasonable level, not maybe advanced, but reasonable. So that will open up a whole new world. Then in the second year, you can build that up. By the third year, you will be reading these texts yourself. You won't even need these scholars. You won't even need people like me. You'd be reading yourself. Right. So, Mufti, what are your Right. So yeah, Bayinat TV is pretty awesome. They do have, as far as I'm aware, NAC did used to run these Arabic courses from his TV thing. I don't know. I've had a lot of people praise them and say they were really good in the past. I do believe so, that because he was very committed. I haven't seen them myself, but I've heard a lot of praise about them. So you can check them out. I know that. Oh, in fact, you know what? Since I'm saying some names, since I've said some anyway, there is Sacred Texts Institute. Sacred Texts Institute or syllabus? Sacred Texts Institute, I think. But it's in the UK, and that has a Sheikh Sajjad, SJAAD. Now, I could definitely 100% vouch for Sheikh Sajjad. He is definitely somebody very grounded, very knowledgeable, and on point. Like I know he's not involved in anything as far as I'm aware, and he never says anything that's out of order. And he's very, in fact, he's very kind of reserved on certain things, but he's very profound in his learning. So there's a place. See, now that you reminded me, I'll definitely recommend if reaching out to Sacred Texts Institute. He's the scholar. I can definitely, I don't know, I'm sure they've got others, but him, the Sheikh Sajjad, I can definitely say, yeah, that's a solid teacher, well grounded all round. Like whether it's going to be history, whether it's going to be theology, philosophy, fiqh. Um, Another person, if you're interested in Maliki stuff, I would say Sheikh Sidi Iqbal, who is on Facebook as Muhammad Iqbal, which is going to be like an impossible name to find on Facebook. But maybe if you check one of my mind traps, I'm sure I must have a link for him, because one of my early mind traps is to him. But I'll try and maybe leave a link or something to his Facebook page in maybe the description. And he just teaches, because he keeps a low profile, but he teaches Maliki fiqh. And that's for people interested in Maliki fiqh. He's incredibly well grounded. He is. And he's somebody he is an absolute gem, I have to say. I am very humbled in his presence. And yeah, so these are people I would definitely, in addition to that, I could say Sheikh Akram Nadwi. He has an institute, I think it's called As-Salam Institute. But he's somebody these are people like who I could 100% know that these people are, that like they are this kind of source of energy that is grounded. And these people, like who are mentioned, like Sheikh Sidi Iqbal, Sheikh Akram Nadwi, even Sheikh Sajjad, I could say, you see, their whole thing always beams compassion. Like I know that they will always be going towards the light of compassion. That's what they're gravitating towards. So that is enough to just have trust on, because they're knowledgeable anyway. So yeah. So these people, I hope that helps actually.